morning, everybody. We are on our way to the racetrack. We are actually going to be competing in the endurance race that they host at the racetrack. It's a 4-hour race, and we did some prep work yesterday, some practice yesterday, so I'm pretty confident with our cart, but our strategy is kind of where I'm not very confident. So for this race, we're actually going to be using ChatGPT to determine our race strategy. So we've asked it, we've given it all the rules. Brody, can you get out of the camera? But we've given it all the rules, and we are going to run off that strategy. It looks like a good one, the one that they've given us. It's a little risky at the end, but we're here to win races. We're not here to play it safe. So we're going to go off the ChatGPT strategy, trust the computers, and we're going to see how it goes. But yeah, come along with us. We're getting there early. As you can see, the sun's not even out yet. We're getting there early to make sure we got the final preps done, and then we're going to start this endurance race. So at this race, you're not allowed to obviously use our beautiful pit spot over here. You have to pit over on the main grid. So that's where we're going to be. So right now I'm loading up my toolbox and just getting some other tools together for whatever we need. So before we get down to the grid, let me explain the ChatGPT strategy a little bit. So the race is 4 hours long with 4 mandatory 4-minute stops. And so I plugged all of the information for the race into ChatGPT, and the normal strategy is doing like 45-minute stops. That's kind of where you're, just average out. You also, for the last stop, it has to be 10 minutes before the final laps. So with that, you kind of have to time out your strategies, but about 45 minutes is where I was going to go. But ChatGPT says to do every 55 minutes and then do like a last 10-minute sprint to the finish. So it's a little different strategy, and the windows are a lot tighter. But I think that's because they're, trying to optimize everything, obviously. And so we're going to try to run off that. I think, maybe we'll give ourselves a little bit more time for some of the pit stops, because it does, just kind of calls it right at exactly 55 minutes. And obviously, coming into the racetrack and coming off and on the track is going to be a little bit longer than that. So we got to add in that time. But we're going to try to run with this strategy. And as the day goes on, and if we get a penalty or something, I'm going to plug that in, and we're going to try to just keep going with whatever ChatGPT says. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes.
If you're a driver, you're not here, you're missing the meeting. So, come here. All right, 104 drivers. A lot of drivers, you guys. A lot of new faces here.
Here we are at the start of the race. I'm not doing the first hit. ChatGPT said it's better I do the second one, and I really am kind of sore, so I don't even want to do it anyway. So here we go. We're gonna start it. 4 hours starts now.
So right now we have a 16-second gap to the guy in second place. So I put that into ChatGPT and asked them what we should do with this now lead that we have. And basically it says that we should probably extend our pit window a little bit. Originally we were going to stop at 55 minutes, but now it's saying to go to 1 hour and 5 minutes, and that'll just, it says it'll probably give us a little bit more time at the end of the race not to have to fight so hard, but then also it'll we'll use up our energy while we still have it, and then in the end when we're a little bit more tired we won't have to do such long stints. So right now I think what we're gonna do, because Tizzy's on the racetrack and we can't communicate at all, I think we're just gonna pull him in at our scheduled stop, and then
yeah, then I'll probably run a little bit longer, and we'll try to go a little bit longer with these next couple stops by just a couple minutes, and then hopefully we can kind of claw that a little bit back as we go. But yeah, right now 60-second lead. Somebody just went purple behind us, but you know, we're cutting through traffic, so you know, we're just gonna, you know, it's just getting through the traffic is your biggest time waster.
That's all set up.
Thank you.
Yeah, 6 minutes. Race facers.
Did the British
Probably a lot.
still loose?
Yeah? Yeah. Just swapping drivers. This is good. A bit of a mishap there, but when I went out on the track, something sounded wrong with the gear, sprocket. I didn't really have time to look at it, so we went out there, and as I just kept going, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse, and eventually the chain was just slipping. So it was either something with the clutch or the gear was broken. And so when I eventually got off the track, we had to pit early. The rear sprocket was just toast, completely no teeth, no anything. So quick change on that, and then we're sending our other driver back out because it's a mandatory driver swap. So he's going to do a much longer session, and then I'm going to do a really long one at the end to finish it off. We obviously had the problem there that cost us a lot of time. We also had to serve a penalty in the first stint because our first driver was speeding coming into the pits. So uploaded all this information to ChatGPT, and basically it said that our new strategy is for the driver on track right now to drive for a little over an hour, and probably like an hour and 10 minutes. And then I'm going to go finish off the rest of the thing. We were able to actually combine 2 of our mandatory pit stops because it was a mechanical problem. So we ended up eating into our, you know, even though it was 2 4-minute pit stops, it took us about 10 minutes to get all the way through it and change everything and then get back onto the racetrack. So yeah, now we are in second. We're about 1 lap down, but we have 1 less pit stop to make than everybody. So we should, you know, funnel back out to the lead. But yeah, it's a little bit tough to, obviously I'm the driver and the mechanic, so, you know, I didn't have anything ready. So I had to come in and like prep everything, get it ready, and then put it on, and then try to get the other driver back out on the racetrack. So yeah, we are in second right now. Not terrible position, but with the minute penalty we had to serve, and then also the extra 2 minutes stop that we had to serve, that also, you know, really ate into our time. But we will see. We're gonna keep going at it. So right now we're just waiting for the laps to tick down. We've gotten back into the lead. We're watching a little bit of F1 while everything's going on. But we've gotten back into the lead. We're, you know, half a lap ahead. It's a little bit sketchy watching some of the passes. But yeah, so far so good. ChatGPT's on it. I factored in all this stuff. Even the rule book has, you know, different rules in it. It actually let me know about some of the rules to talk to the race director about double stacking my pit stops. So yeah, all in all, ChatGPT is saving this race for us. But yeah, we're back in the lead. Just got to finish it out. We still got another 30 minutes on his stint, and then it goes out for me for another hour. So should be exciting. Really, the hardest part is just keeping yourself mentally in it. I mean, it's like
just really repetitive after a while. And the engines aren't that fast that you like really get challenged going through the corners. So it's just more or less like, you know, you're just passing the slower traffic, and then you go to the next one past the slower traffic. That's the only thing that really keeps you like into it, and your head on your shoulders, because you're like having to avoid people the whole time. But other than that, like, you know, you're just kind of, you know, in a rhythm, and it just gets mind-numbing after a while because you just keep seeing the same corners over and over and over again.
But you're good. I mean, you got back to like 5 laps ahead. You should be able to pit and still be in the lead. Good. Yeah, but now the next pit stop. So a slight hiccup in that final stint. We asked already if we could double stop the pit stops, and it was okay, but now apparently we didn't get counted for our 4th mandatory pit stop. So luckily they noticed this and they told us before the race had ended, and we were able to pull in and get everybody switched over to the other driver. And now we've got 12 minutes left. We're still in the lead, luckily. We had like a 2-lap lead after everything, after our last pit stop. So now it's just kind of run to the finish. And yeah, we go from there, but little hiccup. So luckily I saw the guys flagging me in and we were able to go. I wasn't even looking really in the big, you know, at that time, because I thought I was going to run to the end. So I wasn't even paying attention. But now we're still in the lead, luckily. We were able to nail the pit stop. Everything started, everything was good. We were sitting there waiting for 30 seconds, waiting for our 4 minutes to end. And yeah, now we're still in the lead. We just got to try to finish this one off.
Great Karting Academy.
There you go.
With Ryan and TZ. On to hell.
Ooh. Ooh.
I couldn't do it. From
So interesting race, obviously. We ended up winning in the end anyways, so that was really good. We won by 2 laps. So, you know, even with all the penalties and everything that we got, we still were able to win the race. I think overall, we wasted probably, you know, 8 minutes, I think, because we had another 4-minute stop, 2 minutes kind of delay with our change, and then another minute penalty, and then, yeah, another stop. So overall, it was good. I mean, we had speed. It was really fun. Again, I think the hardest part of this whole race is just like keeping your mind in it, because when you're doing that many laps, when you get to like lap 35, 40, you just like kind of lose track of everything, because it's just so much of the same thing over and over again. So overall, it was a good race though. On the podium, we got some stuff done at the racetrack as well. We stayed a little bit late and finished some stuff up to make our little spot a little bit better than before. But yeah, let's finish up another busy week of coaching next week. You know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're busy. So yeah, life of a go-kart driver.